Welcome. I hope you enjoy the conversation you're about to hear between me and another comedian regarding comedy and religion. These are conversations I'm calling disorganized religion. God bless, and for those atheists out there, may nothing await you after this life.
Buy out all the fourth walls and Bert's back rooms.
Yeah.
And then have it a free system where you can sign up at midnight. And then yeah, you get like one spot a day. Or no, you can do one spot. You can do as many spots as you want, but you just have to be on by 12 midnight.
12 a.m.
That's when the new cycle begins. So no one has to pay for mics, or at least for these,
Interesting.
But Travis will only get $1
every show.
$1?
$1.
So your salary will actually decrease by $14 or
Yes,
$9.
but then I'll add
whatever it is.
$1 to it per Travis.
Thank you. I really need that.
Oh.
I'm about to go Postmate after this, so
Ooh.
help me.
How fun.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Are we rolling already?
Yes, we are.
Of course we are. This riveting conversation.
If we have any generous donors out there, please Venmo
Yeah.
at Clyburn Comedy.
Okay. Well, my
Help
show.
me. No, this is not for you.
Are you already just plugging yourself right off the top? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Free to edit
Welcome.
this out, but help me help someone.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Disorganized Religion. We're starting off really on topic, as usual, with Travis's Postmates plugs. I'm your host, Seth Lawrence. We've got the disembodied voice of Travis Clyburn.
Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
That southern spice. I love it. You have to do that voice for the rest of the episode now.
Whatever you need, Daddy.
And the mighty Dylan Sullivan is joining us today. Welcome.
Hello, Seth. Good morning.
Hello. Thank you. Thanks for matching my energy. How have you been?
I've been good, man.
Good.
I'm just waking up.
Yeah.
You have your podcast very early.
Yeah. What, 10:30?
Yeah, kind of like church times, you know?
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some churches that get going a little earlier.
I
but
know.
yeah.
Like, at what, 8 o'clock mass? Is that the
Ooh.
usual?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the Catholics. I think they do. They rotate, though. They do ones, every couple of hours.
I've
all
heard of,
day.
Is it called mass?
For Catholics? Yeah.
For Mormons?
No, we call it sacrament meeting.
A sacrament meeting.
Yeah.
Sounds so much more
Are
official.
they usually on Sundays as well?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
cool.
only on Sundays. Unless you're in a part of the world where you can't meet on Sunday for some reason.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because in Catholic church, they had it on, like, Wednesdays sometimes.
Right.
Is it like the
Wednesday,
youth thing?
Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Pick a day.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
grow up Catholic?
Yeah, I grew up Catholic.
So did you do the, what is it called, CDC?
What's that?
Okay, never mind.
I
there
may
was
have
some
done
like
it, but
Sunday school during the week for Catholics that I've heard of that people will attend. that
Maybe when
wasn't.
I was younger.
Yeah.
Some Sunday school or like some, because we have to do communion and what's the other one?
Confirmation.
Confirmation, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure. How long you been doing comedy, Dylan?
I'm doing comedy about 3 years now, a little over 3.
Oh, okay. Did you start here in LA?
No, I lived in Chicago before this, and that's where I started up comedy. But I first got really into it here.
Uh-huh.
I moved here for film internships originally, and then there was this random ad that I was looking for a job as an assistant. And so the whole ad told me to send in like a funny video. And so I sent in this funny video. And then it happened to be Pauly Shore was the job. So I
no
started,
kidding.
That's so cool.
That's
So-
crazy.
This was the birth of all was Pauly Shore.
Yeah, where all good things come from.
Yeah.
Interesting. So did you get to meet him, or it was just on his
Yeah,
show?
I worked for him for a while.
Yeah.
I remember my first day. I went up to his office,
Mm-hmm.
and he was having. He had set it up where like you were like competing with someone. So like someone was.
for the job.
Yeah, yeah, but it's just like subtly implied.
So they did like a little dual interview.
Well, no, you walk in and he's
Uh-huh.
already working. The one that's
Oh.
gonna replace you.
Interesting.
You know.
Yeah.
Or at least that day was he stacked it like that. And then he's like, he's like telling this guy what to do or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, now then, why don't you just like TNC at the? I can't do it. I still can't do a good Polish or impression. Why don't you sit at the table and just hang out for a second, and then he does whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just see Polish, and that's all the interaction we've had so far. Not like
Yeah.
and he just comes over and slams like a wad of wet carrots on the table, and he's like, "Here, have a carrot." Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's how it all began.
Interesting.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
That's how it all began.
Interesting. All right. So you're from Chicago or not? You were living there before you came to LA. Where
I
are you
was
from?
living in Chicago. I grew up in Denver, and I was born in Texas. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, Denver most of my life.
Yeah.
Or it's Aurora, but it's just a suburb right outside of Denver.
Right. Yeah. It's been made famous. People know where that is.
Well,
now.
that's why I always say Denver when I'm trying to like.
Avoid that conversation.
Right. Which
Yeah.
is weird that that's the thing nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've been saying Southern Ohio, because Dayton just had its own fun mass shooting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what? By this time,
the city that's outside the city that starts with a D.
yeah.
And that's where I am.
Ohio.
From.
I'm from the whole state.
I'm just from there.
It's a very small state.
Yeah.
Pick
From
apart.
east of here. East and north.
Yes, indeed.
And where are you from?
I'm from Utah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Born in Monterey, Park
yeah.
City, California, and then moved to Utah when I was 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's where I'm from.
How'd you like Utah?
It was fine. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't wait to get out, but it was fine. You
Right.
know.
Why?
Why could I not wait to get out?
Mhm.
I think there's a big wide world out there that I wanted to see. No, I think there's also, whenever you have a pretty uniform culture, you get weird stigmas that get going.
Like,
That are
like what?
Well, for instance,
I'm listening. I'm just tired.
yeah, I know
It's
you're
so
good. You're
early.
good. It's like 11. So, yeah, no, it's all relative, right? It's all
Yeah.
relative. So everybody, like 90% of people where I was from were LDS. And so, everybody goes to church, and those who don't go to church are not explicitly shunned, but it's like they don't know as many people, right? Because they don't have the same social network that church builds, right? And then you get this weird stigmas where it's like, look, the church teaches certain things, right? The gospel teaches us to take care of our bodies, that we need to follow what we believe is called the word of wisdom, where it's like no smoking, no drinking, no doing drugs, right? And
Caffeine, stuff like that.
no, not really caffeine, just no coffee, no tea.
Okay.
Caffeine's a pretty common
So like,
misconception.
you could do pop, but not.
Yeah. So
Alright,
not
so call
pot.
it pop. I'm a.
Yeah, you can do pop, soda, no pot. Anyway,
Hot off the pop.
so you'd see
I
people
love
with
the pop.
tattoos, and like me as a kid, and I'm not, it's like, oh, this guy's probably not. You start to
LDS.
equate it. Yeah, like he's not a member of a church. He might not even be a good person. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that sort of stigma can grow.
Sure.
And I knew that I did not want to raise my family in Utah. It's a good spot, but I wanted my kids to be more open-minded than what I felt like I saw from people
Or
I grew
cultured
up
and
with.
stuff like that
Right.
too.
Was
Yeah.
it specifically the city that you were in that was LDS, or is just Utah just majority Mormon?
Yeah, Utah as a state is majority Mormon. It's becoming less so in certain pockets. So like Salt Lake City is becoming less predominantly LDS.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, as Utah grows, it's getting less and less that strong of a majority. But it's still a pretty heavy majority,
Oh.
a Latter-day Saint. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you moved out to California?
Yeah, well, my wife and I got married and then moved to North Carolina. And we were there
God.
for
Carolina.
Wait, so-
graduate school.
There's lots of things I know you can't tell me
What do you
about
mean?
the marriage.
Oh, sure.
But wow. I'm so interested.
Yeah?
I see some of the pictures outside of that church.
Sure, the temple. We call him the
Yeah, oh,
temple.
sorry, the
yeah,
temple.
yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting.
It's not that crazy of a ceremony.
Very, like, big,
Yeah, yeah. The Salt Lake one in particular.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very pretty. My wife and I were married in the Provo Temple, which looks a little bit like a wedding cake. It's not
Really?
quite as pretty.
How
Yeah.
many temples are there?
There are over 200 now across the
Wow.
around the world.
So the one that you and your wife got married at, was that like a bigger one? What's like the big one?
Like
I've seen-
the famous one is the one in Salt Lake City. That's where the
Okay.
church headquarters are. So that's probably the one you've seen.
the big
Looks like a
one.
little castle
Yeah.
with 3 spires on both
Yeah,
sides.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
the one in
cool.
Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Epic.
That's a pretty one. My sister was married there. One of my sisters was married there.
Oh.
But it's also really busy because it's so beautiful.
High in demand.
Yeah, yeah. It's very,
How
very factory-esque when
Oh,
it
so
comes
it's
to
like
weddings. They're like shuffling
in,
you in,
come
shuffling you
out,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's.
Whereas when my wife and I got married in Provo, like not many weddings happened there. So everybody there was like, oh my gosh, and very accommodating. So it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Let us take our time and
do
it was
the
fun.
whole Thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what's a Mormon wedding after party like?
Ooh, not super party. No, it's fine. I mean, we get food, we get music, and
Just get all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
do whatever you
and
want.
just get fucking
Yeah,
rowdy.
we just let loose. No,
Did you ever
I mean,
find that that's kind of like an equivalent to some people like getting drunk and stuff? Like everyone, like Mormon, like getting like some good sodas, maybe in bottles.
no,
and then, like,
I
"Whoa,
don't
look
think
at
it's the
that."
same. No,
Cracking
I
open
don't
the
think it's quite the
Xbox,
same at
you know?
all. Yeah. The closest I ever got to feeling like I was high was getting sleep deprived.
Oh,
So, like, when I grew up, I did this all-nighter with some friends and came home the next day and was pretty out of it because I hadn't slept.
right.
And my parents, come to find out, were worried that I had been doing drugs. So then, like, when I woke up later that night, it's because I slept all day, they were like, oh, what did you do? I was like 11. It's like, what are you talking about? So I grew up with this idea that drugs just made you sleepy.
Oh, okay.
Some of
Yeah.
Because
them.
your parents.
Some of them, sure. But, yeah.
50,
So,
it's 50-50.
yeah, then I hear about cocaine. I'm like, that's not a sleepy drug from what I hear.
If you do enough of it, you will sleep for a very long time. though.
After, right?
Yeah,
After.
after.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just curious. I wonder if, because Mormons, or at least the Mormons I've known,
Mhm.
have had an emphasis on fitness and wellness.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder if like a runner's high is like the
Oh, that's probably as close as we get.
so your guys
Yeah.
is like cocaine.
But I hate running.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to get there. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about the runner's
Whoa,
wall.
he's got
and after that,
yeah.
just a bunch of Mormons addicted to running.
yeah, exactly.
They show up all sweaty to church. I can't stop.
Man, I haven't jogged in 3 days.
Stop running.
I need it.
Oh, man.
I haven't seen my family in a week. I've just been running.
Just a bunch of
I
Forrest
went on
Gumps.
went on a Forrest Gump run. It's been
felt
months.
so alive.
I can't feel my shins.
No, Mormons would be so much thinner if we were all addicted to running.
Dang darn it, that's good.
Just as they're jogging. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. No, I think as high as we get is like feeling the spirit, That's
That's a
So-
pretty big high.
from what I hear, it matches the DMT trips, but I don't know, I don't know. Yeah. So what brought you to stand up? Like you went to Chicago and you did were you doing improv and sketch in Chicago? Cuz Chicago strikes me more of as an improv sketch scene now than stand up, but maybe not.
It was, but I wasn't doing any of that. I was just doing. I had done like. It was just when I was like it was like 4 or 5 mics.
Yeah.
Like I had gone up once at like a school talent show, and then another time at the top of a bar. So it was a lot more like infrequent, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I kind of started.
And then
out.
you hit it hard here in LA.
Yeah, I wasn't very like popular over there. They didn't they didn't really like me much.
Oh, why not? Why do you think
I don't
not?
know, 'cause I
Just
don't
because you were
think I'm
new
like a interesting or person, So
in Chicago, but in LA, you're fascinating.
I'm okay.
You're very talented stand-up, though.
well,
So
no, I mean, it was just like harder to break in there. And then because
Interesting.
that time I lived here, I was doing the poly thing for about 6 months because I had to move back to Chicago to finish my degree.
Got it.
And so I wasn't popular here either for the 6 months. And I remember everybody that was like mean to me. And I think part of me was like,
Did you write a list?
Well, yeah. One up here. One up here I did. Yeah.
Still working through it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, still waiting to kill the last one.
I was wondering what happened to some of these people.
Yeah, no. It was only after I got a cool job that people even stopped spitting in my face.
Oh, no. Get out of here. I saw you crush at the Laugh Factory before you got this cool job.
Yeah, it was all that spit in the face that motivated me. It was just like,
The glaze.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to be
Terrible.
good at this
show
one
you.
day.
I'll
Yeah.
show you, and then you'll need me, and I won't give it to you.
And then I treat you as you treat me. Or the moral thing to do is to forgive them.
Right.
And then once they're comfortable, then you
Stab him in the back. That would be the
Yeah.
best thing.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing to do.
yeah. Make it real sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're about to do the Tonight
Remember
Show.
that? You remember that minor way that you hurt my feelings over a decade ago? Well.
How the interest has accrued.
Yeah. Oh, I've been waiting a very long time.
Oh, that's
my
great.
God.
So you grew up Catholic. When did
Yeah.
you stop going? I'm assuming you're not going to church any longer.
Not
But I
going
don't
to
know.
church any longer. I think I stopped going. Like I would go always do like the churches, like Christmases and holidays with my mom whenever she wanted. Because
Yeah.
for my mom, it's more about like seeing her kids and stuff and
Community.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the community of it. So sometimes I'll go with her, but I think the reason I stopped going to church in like high school-ish
Uh-huh.
on my own accord.
Yeah.
Because then she finally gave up. She was,
Oh,
I
is that
didn't-
right?
I didn't really like going.
You've been
after
fighting
a
it
certain
for
point.
years.
Not like a long time, but I just been like, not loving it so much anymore. But I went to I was raised Catholic, and I went to this Catholic church. But then there was this this Christian group, after school group called Young Life.
Oh, okay.
And I really liked that because it was like my peers, and they do like fun trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And, retreats, all that.
Yeah.
Did they sell it like it was hip hop, like Young Life? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Things
yeah,
like that?
yeah.
That's what I got from it.
And then it was just like a
Did you
bunch
do it
of
too?
No, that seems like a very
just
Christian
listening.
thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
The
youth
Christian
pastor
rock.
that's way too old to be a youth pastor. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, kids, we're fly. You know what I mean?
People haven't used those references in over 12 years.
Jesus Christ, it's tight. Am I right?
Yeah.
What? Like, okay, we should.
Let's just go camping. Can we just camp?
Yeah, let's throw on some Bruno Mars. Just because we're on a retreat doesn't mean we can't have fun.
Let's let it loose. Huh?
Yeah.
Little Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
I know. I had a youth pastor that tried to convince me every song was about Jesus, like that's ever been made.
Oh.
Even every love song, like
Oh.
even like stuff like Bruno Mars "Grenade." He'd catch a grenade for Jesus.
Wow.
It's like you're an
Did you,
idiot.
did you play for him? What's that song? It's like you can lick the lollipop.
Oh yeah.
Is that one about Jesus?
I
That
I'm
50
a-
Cent?
well,
50 Cent song?
I'm a little too old for that one. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Jeez. You're not, what?
a little bit.
All right.
Anyhow.
All right, camp kiddos.
I
This
kissed
next album is called Get Rich or Die Trying.
Also about Jesus.
Also about Jesus.
Oh, my goodness. So what did you not like about church?
So the Young Life was fine at first.
And then what happened? Why did that get ruined for you?
Okay, I'll go over that, and then I'll go over the
Yeah.
Catholic.
Yeah.
So the thing that ruined me for Young Life was there was good people in it for sure, and I
Yeah.
still stand. There's lots of majority good people,
Yeah.
but it felt like
Like immigrants.
What? Is this the Incriminate Dylan podcast? Gosh,
How do you
Dylan.
feel about the
I just
border?
think most of them are good people.
Oh,
I guess like statistically,
It's just such a safe statement. No. Go on.
it's
Yeah.
so funny because that statement seems like most of them are are good.
Are fine. Yeah.
Implies almost you know what I mean?
The minority are terrible. Yeah, really, really bad.
Most of them are fine. No, I don't mean most of them. A
Yeah,
large number
Yeah.
of
No, I
people
know.
at this Young Life camp were good people, but it just seemed like it turned into this. It was like a popularity thing because it was
Within
this,
the group, you mean?
like the whole group itself.
Yeah.
So Young Life, after school church camp or meeting, whatever you would call it.
Mm-hmm.
We all like meet there, and it was just weird because like there's these like leadership roles and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they were always to like the popular kids who were in the high school. So the high school like popularity directly was like transferred over, and like
Got it.
a couple of the leaders kept that going, which was weird to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
You know,
understand
this
that.
is like church.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
just more of the same. Yeah.
Right.
You
It's
were
like,
supposed to be different.
yeah.
You're supposed to be cool.
No, but like Cody is really cool. It was all these like adults thinking these like we were like really cool, or
Yeah.
like deciding which ones were cool or not. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
That's really
30.
weird.
You don't know.
Like don't.
Yeah.
Why are you bothered to do this?
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
So I think that it was mainly that.
Yeah.
It was just like I don't know. I just kind of grew out of it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it can rub you the wrong way when you think it's about one thing and it turns out it's just sort of more of the same. It's a little disillusioning.
Sure.
I can understand that.
But I think the main reason I am not religious anymore is everyone thinks it's because I'm gay, but it was because
That's not it? No, just kidding.
it might have contributed.
Sure, it
Yeah.
helps.
But it was that there was this. I asked one of I think it was confirmation, or I don't know, communion, or whatever one it was. You have to like do all these classes and like
the
a
catechism stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the like youth leaders. I asked, we're talking about pets for some reason,
Okay.
and if they went to heaven or not. And I
Oh,
asked if my dog
interesting.
would go to heaven,
Yeah.
and they explained to me that my dog would never go to heaven, and that was the day where I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm out.
That did it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really did. I was like,
Did you show him the movie, the animated film?
I've got some evidence that you'd be interested to see. No,
Yeah. Interesting.
it was just like
How old were you? 22?
probably like 15.
Yeah.
15, 16.
Sure. Yeah, and that just didn't feel right to you, huh?
No, I could never. I just like I don't understand. It's a dog,
Yeah,
You know,
exactly, Dylan.
and-
It's a dog.
and the fact that he wasn't going to heaven, it meant that he was going to hell because he wasn't going to heaven.
Oh, I see.
Because apparently dogs don't have souls.
But then why would they go to hell? They just would stop existing. Right? Like Travis thinks happens for everything.
Because it does.
You shut your mouth.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
Like, why would
that's
it-
honestly one of those things that really upset me about a lot of Christian beliefs. Like,
Yeah.
I had a teacher who was actually taught, he was like a youth pastor too, because there's no separation of church and state in the Bible Belt. Like they all, and he
Well,
said
when
at
the
one
church
point,
is the state.
yeah, like someone showed him a video on the early days of YouTube of like a dog getting hit or something like that. He was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. They don't have souls, so who cares?" And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, that's the meanest thing I've ever heard.
I know.
Like, screw every animal that exists. Humans are the best because we have a magic ghost in us.
That
Right,
was really
right.
what it did for
It upset
Interesting.
me, too.
Interesting.
I just
What kind of dog did you have?
it's like a mutt.
Yeah.
But you love that mutt.
The best kind.
Yeah, it was like a little bit German Shepherd and a little bit Lab.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so
Some
sweet.
other stuff
Right.
mixed in there.
What's his name?
Max.
Oh.
That's a good dog
And
name.
Max apparently wasn't going to heaven. Max is not in heaven right now. Max is just dead.
Oh. He's in
the
heaven.
eyes
He's,
of the church.
he's waiting for you, Dylan. He's
Oh.
waiting at the gate.
I certainly hope so, because Max was a very good boy.
You just got to live your life well enough to see him again.
I guess I know. Maybe that would be a thing. Or I just remove my soul so I can end up being among the purgatory that Max is roaming day to day.
Forever.
Yeah, for the other time.
Sure, that's another avenue, I suppose. That's another avenue.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use Harry Potter magic, put it in a Horcrux. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
That should
right,
get you
right,
to
right.
purgatory, right?
I have to go in like 5 different. Are you allowed to watch Harry Potter?
Of course. Yeah, my kids love. We read all
Dude,
the
I had a
books
lot
with
of
my,
kids
with my kids.
growing up.
That's cool.
that
Harry
loves
Potter's
Harry
great.
Potter.
Yeah,
I love those books.
I do too. I grew up with. Well, I mean, part of them. They'd already started. Anyway, who cares how old I am?
Do you guys know
yeah,
what-
I like Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys know what German Baptist is? It's
Uh-uh.
just call them lazy Mormons. They like come from
Oh.
Mennonites and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Like they can drive cars, but they dress like Mormon people.
Oh.
Or sorry,
Like-
Amish
like
people.
Amish people?
My apologies.
Do their
Oh,
dogs
yeah.
go to heaven?
No, no, they're
Nobody's
they're crazy.
across all religions in the world.
But I remember
No dogs are going to heaven.
I'm sure we can find some.
Hindu are down with the dogs.
I have to
Yeah.
find a religion where dogs are.
Well, there's no heaven in Hindu. They're
Yeah. They
Reincarnated.
join Nirvana, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
eventually-
Dogs and Nirvana.
Oh, yeah, and eventually,
Sounds
if you
cool.
achieve
Yeah.
inner peace as a human, then you.
Right.
But like a dog comes back as a person.
Yeah, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So-
Or if a shitty human comes back as.
you're saying dogs are worse than people?
I mean, and
They're a rung
Hindu.
below.
I mean, well, probably.
Yeah, I know. Right. No, I agree.
I don't know. Today I put a sweater on my dog because he was cold,
Oh.
and he was upset the whole time.
Yeah. It's probably fine. You know.
But he's warm now.
It's got fur. Yeah. I'm sure we could find some
He's from Florida. He's a cold boy.
some LDS doctrine that would support dogs going to heaven. I'll look into it, Dylan.
You find that
We'll get you.
doctrine, and
We'll get you.
I will be straight again.
You don't,
It's a deal.
you don't have to. Here's
I
the
got
thing.
it.
You don't have to be straight. You,
You
just have
just
to
can't have-
pretend.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like,
And how hard
I
could
know,
that be?
and you know, but no one's. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That would. That is hilarious, actually.
What about that? Is
That,
so
like-
funny?
That like you can technically be a gay Mormon.
Yeah.
You just like don't do gay Mormon things.
Well, you do
But you-
Mormon things. You
Mormon,
just do
yeah.
gay things.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And by that I mean gay sex. That's what you can't do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
You can have heterosexual sex as a gay guy,
But, okay.
or as a
But just have
lesbian
really
woman.
intense conversations with a guy.
No, I was just out
a
for
lot of direct
for
eye
a coffee,
contact.
for lunch with Bill, and we just talked for 3 hours. It was great.
Bill, it is very nice to see you today.
Yeah, good to see you too, Dylan.
We should keep talking for hours, and then I will go home to my wife.
I kind of have to get back to work, Dylan.
Let's go
All
to the
right.
gym.
Better get going now.
Oh man, what are your thoughts on the way LDS people view homosexuality? Or do you have questions about it?
More questions.
Yeah, fire away.
Okay.
I'll take on the banner and
So-
get all the hate mail. This will be fun.
So it wasn't called. Sorry, it's called the Bible is called. Is it just the Bible?
So we believe in a Bible, in the Bible, right? The King
What's the
James
thing about
version,
the-
and then the Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Which is who wrote that?
Well, we
Joseph
believe
Smith.
ancient. Oh no, he translated it.
Sorry.
So we believe Travis just spouting off. No.
Right,
So
what's
Joseph
the-
Smith translated
There was
it.
the translator.
Yeah.
Where he was
Seer
able
stones.
to like read the stones or something.
Yeah.
There's a hat.
Yeah.
then
So he had a couple different stages. At first, it was a hat and seer stones. So he'd place these stones inside the hat. He would look into the hat and see the translation of the Reformed Egyptian that was in the Book of Mormon on these plates see it apparently in English in the hat through these seer stones.
Okay.
And that's what he would dictate and would be written down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are
That's
there a
that's
lot
the
of
way it started.
parallels between like to the Book of Mormon and the Bible, or are there some
I'd
key
say
differences?
doctrinally there are a lot of parallels, but it tells a different story. So the Bible is a story about the old world and the interactions between God and man and woman in the old world. And then the Book of Mormon tells a story of a family from Jerusalem that crossed to the American continent. And it's about the prophets and people that lived on the American continent and their interactions with God and Jesus Christ.
So kind of like like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
I guess. Like book 2?
Book 2. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Book
It's
2 of
another
like,
testament of Jesus
It's like
Christ.
the next episode in the religion.
Right.
Right, the next
Right.
era.
I suppose. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we look at it as all going from one religion, and that because of the Dark Ages, the apostasy that happens after the Bible. So we believe, unlike Catholics, we believe that the priesthood ended with Peter and the apostles when they were all killed.
Oh.
And so the priesthood and the gospel was lost for hundreds of years until Joseph Smith
He finds
restored the church through Jesus Christ, was given the priesthood by Peter, James, and John, and restored the church under Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ's instruction.
Wow.
And that part of his call to that was to translate the Book of Mormon, which gives us the same gospel that was taught in the Bible, but that had been lost because of translations and imperfections. Yeah.
Well, wow.
So that's our claim to authority. So we think it's all one religion. We just think it's ours. You know?
Right.
Right.
Is Mormonism, is that like open join, or do you have to?
What do you mean? Open source? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Open
Can
drawer?
you just like, if I like hypothetically wanted to, could I be a Mormon?
Yeah. So you'd have to do some things, right?
What are the things?
The stages would be to meet with missionaries and understand, accept the doctrines that they're teaching you.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to, most likely, they would want you to start reading the Book of Mormon every day. When I was a missionary, this is what we asked people to do. We would visit with them. We would tell them about the apostasy and the restoration of the gospel and our claims to authority as a church.
So you would tell like new people.
Yeah, I'd go door to door. So I was in Canada. We would go door to door.
Oh, the groups of two things
Yeah,
on bicycles.
I was one of those.
Why bicycles, no car? Is
We had a car.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on the area you're in.
Okay.
Yeah. So the area I was in was very spread out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fishing villages along the coast in eastern Canada. So we had a car because it was also cold.
How were you
so
received in said fishing villages?
Not great. It sort of depended. There were...
You seem so nice in person.
Yeah,
I'd
thanks.
think about it.
Yeah. I think we had decent... I never had anybody like slam a door and yell at me, but I did have someone kick us out of his apartment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, invited you in?
Yeah. We like...
And then told you to fuck off?
So the previous companionship had been teaching him. I replaced one of them. He and I were teaching him, and then my companion was replaced. So it was me and now this new guy, and we were teaching him, and he had been sort of stagnant, like not really reading the Book of Mormon. He wanted to read the New Testament more, which was fine.
Yeah.
But he also wasn't really accepting that Jesus was the Savior, which is a huge part of my religion.
I think that makes you Christian in general.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And he was just sort of exploring everything. And so I said, I think you should understand that if you want to, a lot of people are lonely and they just want to talk. And like, that's not our purpose when we're out there.
Right.
So it's a fine
So how do
balance
you
of being
decide that?
nice. Right. So, well, I said,
How
if
do you not get murdered, by the way?
Yeah. Well, we're protected.
Has there been any instances of like...
Yeah, I'm sure there have been. I mean, I
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
'cause
brother-in-law
there's
who
crazy
was
people out there.
mugged and beaten up a few times on his mission.
I
He
had
was
a
in
buddy
Russia.
who, some crazy old lady that was just really lonely. He was a cable repair guy. He came there to, she said, I need someone to fix my cable box.
And then she's
and
like,
then locked him in the
miseried
basement.
him. Jeez.
and then like wouldn't let him go.
Yeah, that's
and
terrifying.
like he was trapped in there without his phone for like 6 hours.
Yeah. Well, see, he was alone. If he'd had a companion, he could have beaten this woman
Also,
up. And
no
they could've
offense,
left.
but if you can't break down a door that old lady's pushing,
I mean, he wanted to be trapped.
maybe, I have no one to talk to.
That's on him.
Keeping you.
Not in the basement. Oh, my phone.
Ethel, no, don't
That'd
tie
be
me up.
hilarious. Like a person who gets kidnapped but's like so into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's taking me.
Oh no.
It's sort of guys'
Oh,
fantasies,
no,
right?
I won't see my family for weeks.
What will I do with all this quiet solitude in the basement?
What will I do without all this nagging?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'll probably definitely get workman's comp after this.
That'd be terrible if there was cable down here.
Oh, look.
Microwavable meals.
Oh my gosh. An Xbox.
Yeah. How do we start this?
Because I was talking about going to people's houses,
Right,
and Travis
right,
said that'd be unsafe.
I did go down a tangent of
Right.
serial killing. I've been watching all
Right.
of Criminal Minds.
Of course you have.
It's that
Yeah.
Midwestern popcorn show.
Yeah. Very fun.
It's
But
getting worse.
if you wanted to become, a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there would be certain changes you'd have to make. You'd have to commit to not doing drugs, not drinking alcohol.
Not drugs, no alcohol.
Yeah, coming
no
to church
gay
on
stuff.
Sundays.
Coming to church.
Right. No gay sex. And everything else, I think, would just fall into place. So,
what are the gay stuff?
where do I
super not
sign?
cool?
I'll if you're interested, I'll send some people over. But yeah, there would be changes. But yeah, anybody can join. It's open to
It's
everyone.
open, really.
Yeah. I mean, we did have a little bit of a hiccup before 1975 because we didn't allow people of African descent to hold the priesthood. But that was just a little thing.
Right.
Just-
Does anyone like
No big deal.
overcompensate because of that now?
I mean, we should, right? I feel like we should, but
a little.
I don't know that there's much overcompensation going on. It's sort of just a whoopsie that's kind of been swept under the rug. My church is being more public about those kinds of things now, which is good, but they're a little behind, I think,
Oh, okay.
as far as being open on all that. So
Interesting.
anyhow, yeah. So what's your thoughts on spirituality? Like, what do you kind of believe when it comes to religion? Anything or?
I'm just in a state of like I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like some days I feel spiritual in the sense of like there could be a greater purpose and stuff. I just think I don't know. I think a lot of people have used religion as an excuse to be like a little evil.
Yeah.
Not like
yeah. In what sense do you mean? Like judgy?
I mean, no. Well, I guess, but yeah, just anyone who uses their religion to just for the sake of power.
Yeah.
I think that's like a pretty, But I guess like anything can be corrupted. It just sucks when.
Yeah. When it's
You
something
see
that
that.
should be pure.
Right.
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 Yeah. I agree. And I think every organized religion's guilty of that.
Right. Because every organized religion gets money, so it's like, okay, how do you stay? You want money for your church.
Sure.
But you also, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But
How do you not
basically, I
become,
don't. I thought I had a big like business background, and then I remember I only know like addition and subtraction sometimes.
That's okay.
Yeah, long division.
You're
if I'm
entitled
lucky.
to your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what do you think? What do you wish churches would use their money for? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. Well, okay. So, like for example, we at my church, the Catholic one,
Yeah.
it was just like very grandiose,
I don't
and
know,
like the priest had this like huge house,
Oh.
and it was just one guy.
Yeah.
Get a
Bunch of kids.
Get
No.
a 1 or 2 bedroom. This guy had like wings to the house.
Yeah.
It's like, do you really need all that
Interesting.
to
Sure.
know the Bible and
Right.
to give? It's
Well,
like,
see, that's the way I feel about the televangelist guys. That have the
Yeah.
jets.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The
Yeah, like the
yachts.
righteous
yeah,
gym shows.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like that's where the evil comes in.
Yeah, I agree.
Where it's like,
I agree.
okay, well, you're just doing this for money and power and fame.
Right.
You know?
Right. And a little bit of placebo
Under the
effect.
guise,
Yeah.
of being a good person.
Right.
That is
That's
to be
what I hate.
thousands of
Yeah.
years.
That that part.
Church leaders have convinced their followers that they can buy their way into heaven. Like the early
Right.
days of Catholicism when they were like, you buy this coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all priestcraft, right? I
then-
mean, that's all condemned in the Bible.
In
but-
addition to that being bad, then it's like when you inevitably get caught or whatever, you bring the whole religion like image down,
Yeah.
and so those people just suck.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess more spiritual. I don't know if anything has. I'd like to think there is a bigger purpose to all this.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
What would that be called? Agnostic?
Yeah.
Be fair, yeah, questioning but not certain would be
Yeah.
agnostic.
Kind of like the
You
like
could-
queer of religious
Yeah,
belief.
you're the Q.
Is that what queer
and,
is? They, like, don't know? I
question?
thought queer was more of an umbrella term for everybody in the alphabet.
I don't know either. I don't think it has a definition anymore.
It's
I
gone.
say
It
we.
means
I say
multiple
we
things.
annex the Qs. You know, get out of here. Get out, Qs.
If you don't know, just go away. We don't want to hear from
Yeah,
you.
Decide and come back when you know.
what I was gonna
Pick
say.
a team.
Figure it out over
Yeah.
here.
Experiment. Shut up until you figure it out.
Yeah.
And
That
then
is
we'll
one
listen to
thing.
you.
That is one interesting thing about the LGBTQ whatever community.
Yeah.
Just people who are kind of weird just want to be part of a group. Same with religion
Oh,
and stuff. Like that.
interesting.
And
Sure.
so now, unfortunately, you get these crazy people that are attaching themselves to this organization.
The LGBTQ organization?
Yeah, like
They're not
the literal
organized though, but I
they've
mean, they
got
are.
they have an actual physical location in Los Angeles.
Okay, which letter do you think is
Yeah.
organizing them? I'm guessing it's the L's.
Because they're the least funny.
The least tolerant, the least accepting. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So, Dylan, when
Sorry,
did you
Dylan.
know? When did
No,
you
it's
know
like
that
all
you
right.
were?
Oh, really?
I'm just so
how
disappointed.
did he find out that the lesbians?
Control us all.
Why are they first?
They do put them first.
You
I
just
mean,
had to
there's
keep
way more-
talking, Travis. You just had to keep on digging where you shouldn't have been digging.
Oh my gosh! Unbelievable.
Sorry, what was the question?
I was gonna say, when did you know that you were gay? Has it been something you've always known, or is it?
Probably middle, like puberty.
Yeah,
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 it's kind of like lean toward it.
got it. And how is your family? Because your parents are still religious.
My mom like occasionally goes to church. They're kind of just
Got it.
lazy.
Yeah.
My mom's like a lazy Christian.
Okay.
Well, no.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty-
call mom lazy, but like
Pretty typical Catholic, right?
right.
Most Catholics.
Typical Catholic. Once a month service.
Well, that's better.
La dee da.
I think once a month is better. The typical Catholics I've met go twice a year.
Right,
Easter
right.
Christmas.
Yeah, Easter and Christmas.
Easter, Christmas.
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know?
no, they're she's a little less religious now, but she is, and then my dad, I don't think believes in anything.
Uh-huh. So they were
Yeah.
pretty supportive of you when you came out, or no?
Yeah, they're as like parents go, they were pretty supportive.
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
for that
sure.
sort of thing. They definitely had like a learning curve,
Yeah.
but they were always. It's not like that. I got like kicked out of the house or anything.
Yeah.
But I waited to come out until after I got out of high school. So,
Yeah.
like in the case anything went bad, I graduated high school like a semester early,
Uh-huh.
and so that's when I came out to my friends, and then shortly after came out to my parents.
Got
Just
it.
in case it was like, well, if this goes bad, I don't have to see and be bullied in school every day. I
Right.
can just like,
Just accept it and move on.
right. I
Yeah.
got like a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. So why I'm curious. I've seen some of your act. I don't know how how many hours you have developed, but what I've seen, you don't talk about religion at all, from what I've seen, and I'm curious about why not. Why don't you make fun of it, or do you feel like it's just overdone?
It's just not something I'm like, have a good joke for you.
Okay, sure.
Right, I don't know. I just like was never really
Yeah.
interested in that. I think if like anyone has the right to believe whatever they want to believe, and everything that I've seen about like religion is just super like hacky.
Oh.
Like the whole like priest kid thing.
Yeah.
It's just like it was funny and probably still is sometimes. But like
but everybody has a joke about it.
right,
Yeah.
where it's just like I haven't seen like an angle on religion that I've been like super passionate about to make a joke into.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, I never made any actual jokes about religion until I just started talking about personal experience and like the crazier aspects.
Right.
Like the snake handling churches and the crazy
You had a
stuff.
pretty religious background too, Travis,
Yeah,
right?
Pentecostal
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
What's
yeah.
a Pentecostal?
This any clip you've ever seen on the internet of somebody smacking someone in the forehead for Christ, that's Pentecostal.
So a lot of the televangelists
Anyone
are Pentecostal.
that speak in tongues.
That's exactly. That would be exactly the church I would think that you would.
You're correct.
graduate
You'd be
from.
correct. Yeah.
God, I would love to.
I'm not that much
Dude,
of an
I would love to
enigma.
go to church with you, Travis.
Oh man, we could go back to Ohio and go to
Yeah.
a Pentecostal church,
Yeah.
and then just be entertained. It's bananas.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Do you feel like there's anything that you would be healed from, Dylan, at
Uh,
a Pentecostal church?
Yeah,
Is
what
there
would they bring you on stage?
Is there anything you'd actually go to try to get
Cure
cured?
me of my diabetes.
He doesn't have it yet.
Not yet.
Got a
Maybe after
feeling.
this Coke.
We'll see. Isn't that funny that there's like one sip or one bite that turns a
It's the straw that
pre-diabetic
breaks
person to a diabetic
I-
person?
I love your joke about, is this the donut? Is this the one? It's such a great
I
joke.
think about your joke all the time because it affects me personally. Almost I'm pre-diabetic. I don't know. I just got a feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think about it all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel it too, buddy.
Yeah. Such a good bit.
I'm pre-diabetic, not medically. I just have a feeling.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Sorry
the
to
one.
butcher your joke. It's so good.
I had that. I think it's like my best one-liner, and you should
Yeah.
have seen like the papers I had of how many like bad versions of that.
Oh,
I just
bet.
look like a crazy person, just like trying.
No, that's great to put the work in like that to figure out the
Yeah.
exact amount of words you need
Yeah.
to not make it feel garbled.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I had been doing is like they have this great website called Scraps from the Loft,
Okay.
and they transcribe almost like every comedy special. And
Oh wow.
I
Interesting.
would break it up like by lines, and then start marking, like printing out a copy, and then mark the syllables in each line.
Oh.
And you would see like patterns of I write the syllables and how many words,
Yeah.
and like highlight parts that got laugh or whatever. But
Jeez. You'd break it down like a Shakespeare play.
only for that joke, only for that one
Interesting.
diabetes joke.
Interesting. Oh, hey, that's why it's so good.
But it was like, you can. It's just like
Yeah.
it
It is
feels
interesting
like
the
comedy feels like
natural.
little haikus sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost natural iambic pentameter when you're writing sometimes because there's just it's like a song.
Yeah.
It's just a natural
It's
rhythm.
a natural speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like each person, once you find your song, that's how you get that
Your
flow
rhythm.
for a whole
Yeah.
hour. You know.
Yeah. So what is your writing process like, Dylan? Are you that meticulous with every one of your jokes?
Every detail must fit into place. No, not
Indeed.
really. I'm pretty
Yeah.
loose.
How do you write? Do you write on stage, do you feel like? Or it's a mix?
A lot on stage. I'll just have like general ideas that I write in my notes and stuff, and maybe
Yeah.
like a line or something here and there, and then I just try to, like go on stage and fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Where are some of your favorite places to work out those gaps?
Here, right
Yeah,
here is
the
my
fourth wall.
absolute
Yeah.
favorite
The
place. in the
NoHo
world.
fourth wall specifically?
NoHo fourth wall.
What about it do you like?
Formerly the state
overall-
farmers insurance.
Yeah.
AKA also former Joe's Movers.
Yeah.
Orange Joe's Movers.
What do you like about this space? The overall depression or what?
I like Travis when he hosts it.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Definitely my favorite host.
Yeah.
It's just like like when you get a laugh in here, it really feels like you've earned it.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know?
Fair. I think that's fair.
And then you realize that you haven't. It's just the room.
No. Get out of here.
And that's what keeps my mind racing.
Just that
Was it
constant
good?
doubt.
Was it really good? Or was it just that? They just like it.
She always
good,
brings
though.
me back, no matter how far I leave from you.
Fourth wall. Oh, fourth
Chasing the
wall.
laughs at the
Yeah.
fourth wall.
What's your favorite spot to work?
I don't know. I like this location. I've come to like the Improv, the lab, but it's all lottery, so you can't really bank on working out material there. and Bert's, I think, is the other spot where I've.
How dare you?
I know, but I do.
sure it's
I like
fine.
that. I like that spot. But this spot is
What
a great
with
one.
its clean air and paint on the walls?
I think what I like
It's
about it
potentially usable toilet.
is how comfortably close it is to the Jewish high school across the street. That's what I really appreciate about
know that. I've
Bert's.
never been there.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think about any other.
Just Seth
Man.
throwing rocks from the.
The Comedy Palace. Have you been to that
No,
location?
never been.
Yeah, they do some late night stuff where you can get 7 minutes for free,
Oh, cool.
which is a fun. Yeah. So that's another spot
That's a
I
good
think is worth checking out.
I like that. Good open mics. Probably no one
Yeah.
knows like who's listening to your podcast is like interested in
I don't know.
open mic community.
Maybe
but-
not. I feel like the most people who listen to this are some of my family members and some people I know on my mission, and then comics here.
Oh,
there are
cool.
a handful of comics here that might listen.
Right.
So they might
You know why
appreciate
they're gonna listen to this episode?
because you're on it.
Yeah, and they're gonna try
And
to
then they're gonna
find my
DM you.
my Achilles heel.
What are you
So they
talking
learn
about?
your weakness.
Listening.
Your Achilles
His weakness is
heel.
dogs not going to heaven.
That's gonna be
Yes.
the heckle for the next. Once this
Yes.
releases, everyone's gonna be like,
Your dog's dead. La ha ha ha.
You'll never see Max again.
You'll never see. Max is in a soulless nothing land.
we watch.
Yeah. Man, these comics are brutal.
Just
are ruthless.
unrelenting.
know.
That's
Wow.
so funny. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a dog since, Max, or no?
Yes. Well, my parents do.
Sure.
Her name's Sadie. She's a boxer. She's very cute.
Yeah.
Are Mormons allowed to have dogs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
They just don't go to heaven. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, do Mormon dogs go to heaven?
I think so. I think there is something eternal about every living thing. So I'll look up some talk
Please
that
look
That's
into
what
it.
always
supports it.
upset.
I'm getting more interested by the
I
minute.
mean, come on.
There's a lot of people who have tried to have a scientific debate with people about what a soul is. They'd be like,
Yeah.
well, it's energy. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, well, fucking a deer has energy,
Yeah.
but that doesn't have a soul. And they're like, well.
It does.
I'm like, if it
I
does.
know, I think
Then
so.
If we have souls, this deer has soul.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that's
Yeah.
just, we just have the magic soul.
Yeah.
There's all
think
these
if
malice
you wanna
deers walking around.
just little
Salt like 'em.
programmed robots for our pleasure.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something eternal about every living thing, though. Trees included.
There would
plants, trees.
scientifically have to be.
I
If
think so.
energy inside something,
Yeah.
if electrical impulses is
Yeah.
a soul, everything has a soul.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then
we
they
believe
keep
this earth
killing 'em.
continues, and we're all going to live on it continuously. So,
Wow.
yeah. You can get your planet if you join and you're good. If you're a
Oh,
good
yeah.
little boy.
And
You
that
get your
planet's a
own
hell of a
planet?
cell.
I mean, we make planets, right? So we believe God and Heavenly Mother, they make planets, they make us, and they populate the planets with us. So
What's
that's
the
what we
wait
think
list on
we're
that
going to do.
planet?
But isn't it like when you
A
die?
wait list?
Yeah, it takes a while to make a planet.
I mean, 7 days. That's not that long.
Oh, I meant scientifically, but it's fine. It's
These
fine.
workers
Yeah,
are
sure.
just lazy.
Yeah, sure.
It's day 4 and there's barely water.
Yeah, I don't see any bacteria on my planet.
But they
yet,
got the
and
lights
this is
on.
bullshit.
Okay, they got the lights on. Just relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we believe that we'll be able to create planets and continue creation forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Plan 7 days
Wild.
is efficient.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
it's probably like
efficient.
7,000 years or
That's
whatever.
6 days. On that 7th day, you
You
nap.
rest. Yeah. Yeah.
Or
You make
play-
all the babies
Play
there.
backgammon or
I've been up for 124 hours making this planet. No one respects me. They don't see all the hard work I'm doing. Oh, yeah. Make a planet, Dylan. 2 in a week. Don't worry. You get Sunday off.
Then I got to come home and mow the lawn. Get out of here, Cheryl. I'm going to bed.
We're making a planet.
I'm
There's no dinner on the
sleeping
stove.
today. I don't care when you need this planet by. You can't put all this stress on a person.
Here, Adam. You named the animals. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Do something.
I went to take a nap. I come back. You're eating apples, covering your dicks. This is bullshit.
Get out of here.
Talking to snakes.
And when you get better, you come back to me.
The one thing I asked you. The literal one thing I asked you. I'm sick of it. I hate you.
What a beautiful reenactment of Genesis 1.
Oh man,
That's great. All right, we're gonna end there. Thank you, Dylan, so much for coming
Thank
on,
you,
man.
Seth.
This was a
It's great being on a
great
podcast.
conversation. And Travis, anything for you?
touch Dylan. There we go.
What do you want to plug, Dylan? This will probably come on at
I got
Christmas
nothing
time.
going on.
Get out of
Happy
here.
holidays, Merry Christmas.
You just opened for Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was the last time I'm getting invited.
What did you do to Bobby?
5 solid bombs for 600 people a night. Each night got a little worse somehow.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
No.
I don't believe it for a second.
No, it's just if you want to check out my Instagram, it's there.
Yeah, beautiful. And I'll put it in the show notes so they'll know.
Perfect.
Great. All right. Thanks for joining us. Travis, anything you want to plug?
When's this coming out?
Probably Christmas.
Oh, then I have no idea. I'll be in Ohio.
So far in
when this
advance.
comes out.
2020? Anything you guys are looking forward to in 2020?
End of days.
Oh, yeah. Me too, man.
It's 2020. What a great
Let's
year.
get out of here.
I'm excited
all right.
for
2020. It sounds
Yeah.
like a nice year to wrap it up.
I think so.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree.
and
Get your boy JC on the
JC.
phone. Let him know. Let's wrap
We're
this
ready.
shit up.
got a couple months. I'm very excited for. I feel like like vision centers are gonna have just have a ball on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have
Get
2020 and 2020. They're gonna
If I
go
don't see one
nuts for
poster
it.
like that, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be so upset.
That's a great. And you heard it
That's
here
what I'm
first.
excited for.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis, for helping out. And
Anytime.
Seth, thanks
you
for
guys have a
having us.
good week.
Welcome.
Bye.